Hi guys, we are starting now series for Core Java 2 lectures. So in this series we will learn advanced Java. So basically in Java there are number of packages, built-in packages, and under that number of built-in classes are there. So some of these built-in classes we will study under Core Java 2. So here is first lecture for Core Java 2. We are starting with file class. So what is the file class and why it is required? So basically, if they if we want to have uh, if we want to use file in our program, definitely we want to access some file, and to access that file, related class is required under Java, because in Java everything is nothing but class and object. So to handle a file, that means if we want to have information about the file or a directory, we can use a file class. So these are some important points regarding file class. A file object is used to obtain or manipulate information associated with a disk file, directories, subdirectories, etc. Regarding any of the file, there is some amount of information is stored with a file. I am not saying that the information written within the file. I am talking about information about the file. It can be a name of file, last modification date, size of that file. So these are and many more. So these are the things which are associated with every file. This is the information associated with every file. We can also say that file a directory is also a file, because directory is a special type of file which contain list of file names or subdirectories as a information. So we can also say that a directory is also one type of or special type of file which gives information about the list of files or list of subdirectories which are present under that. So if we want to know information regarding any file or any directory or any subdirectory, we can use this file class. Second, it also provides methods to list the file in a directory, to check the existence, readability, writability, type, size, and modification time of files or directories, to make new directories, to rename files and directories. So these all are the functions, or these all are the uses by for which we can use file class. So by using a file class, let us consider I am using object which refers some directory. So under that directory, what are the different files are present? These all file names I can list, or I can display all these file names which are coming under that directory by using a file class. Also, let us consider I want to check information of some file, but that file is not exist on my system. So what will happen, as the file is not exist, definitely I will not get that information. So we can also check that whatever the file name we are using, whether that file is really exist on the system or not. So this is possible, that is to check the existence by using a file class. It is also possible that we can check whether that file is really exist on our system or not. Readability. So definitely whatever the we use file to store some information in that. So whatever the file we are going to refer by file class object, Is it possible to read that file without we are having the permission to read the contents of that file? That permission we can check, that is we can check whether that file is readable or not. Like that, if we want to use that file object for to write to update something or to write some contents into that, so before that, before doing actually write into the file, we must check whether the right permission is associated with that file or not. So we can check whether that file is writable or not. So that writability can be checked also by using file class. So definitely for these different types of uses, related methods are available. Definitely these all will be the built-in methods for the built-in class file. Also we can check type of a file, we can get size of a file, what is the length of that file, whatever we are using. That also we can check. So once the file is created, number of times we use to modify that file, its contents. So if we want to check what is the timing, which or what is the last modification time of that file, whatever we are going to refer, so that can also be checked by using one of the method of file class. So we can check last modification time of file as well as of directories. Also it is possible to rename files, to make new directories, or to make new or to rename files or to rename directories. All these things are possible. Definitely to have this different functionality, different built-in methods are available under file class. So all these methods we have to study in detail. Also we will see one program demo. Next point, this class does not deals with streams. That is, it cannot be used to read or write data. So just before, as I said, here we are using this file class only to check the information associated with that file. With this, by using this file class only, we are not, it is not possible to directly read or write into the file. So it is not directly, it is it does not deals with streams. So reading and writing data into the file class object directly is not possible. Okay. So as it is a built-in class, here are some constructors available. Just look at the constructors, whatever here are. So first constructor, file. As I hope everyone remember that the constructor is nothing but these are the special type of function whose name is same as the name of the class. I hope you remember. So this is file. In that I'm having one parameter string path. So this is the first constructor. So that means by using, if I want to create object by using this constructor as a parameter, I have to specify path where my file is located. For example, I am creating object of file class as f1, file space f1 equals to new space file in bracket, as it is double quote, this is my string and this string is nothing but path where my file is located. So d colon slash bcs, this is the path which I want to use for file object f1. So here D is my drive name. D says is one of the directory available on D drive. So F1 file object refers directory BCS which is present on drive D. Is it clear? Okay. Now we will look at we will move further for the second constructor. Again file in bracket string path comma string name semicolon. So what we can do over here? We can have two arguments. Out of that first argument, here we can specify the path up to the directory, and whatever the file which we want to refer from that directory, that file name here we can specify. Both are strings. For example, let us consider f2 is object of class file. So file space f2. Most important point about this is that is the conventions of the Java language. So see here, file is a class name. So everywhere whenever you are using file, you must give f as a capital. If you are using here small f, definitely you will get error. So in file, as it is a class name, always give f in capital. Okay. So file space f2 equals to new space file. In bracket, see here I am using two string arguments. Out of that, first d:/bcs, same thing I am using over here. So bcs is my directory on drive D. So this is my path, and in this bcs directory, let us consider I am having one file abc.txt. So this is my name, this is my file name, and this is my path, or you can say directory name, the complete path of the directory where my file is present. So we can use this constructor also. So what are the constructor which is suitable for your program? You can use as that constructor. Okay, next one. Again file in bracket. Again here I am using two parameters. First parameter is file obj, that is file object, comma string name. Let us consider already you have created some object, just like over here f1 object already created, which is having some path in that. So in f1 already the path is available as d:/bcs. From this directory I want to refer some file. So instead of specifying this directory, so as I know that from the same directory I want to use some file, I can use this f1 object directory instead of specifying this complete path. The path is very small, it is easy to remember. But let us consider if the big path is there, d:/bcs/ty/same 5 or whatever it is, huge path is there. I have to remember each and everything, the complete track of the path. So instead of that, if I am using directly f1 to create the next object, it will be easy. So that facility is also provided by the file class constructor. So file object, comma string name. So here name indicates it's a file name. So here is example, file space f3. F3 is object of type file class equal to new space file. See, I am using here f1 object, that is object of a file class, just as we have created in example 1. So f1 comma in double quotation abc.txt. So this is one and the same whatever here we have done in f2. In f1 I am having d:/bcs. This is available in f1. Instead of writing this completely, I have used already existing object, and I am referring same file abc.txt. So we can refer any of the file whatever available under the directory. So like this, any of the constructor we can use. And the next constructor, it is related with the URL object. So what is URL? Uniform Resource Locator. So in Java 2, in detail we have to study Uniform Resource Locator URL object. In detail we have to study. So that's why here I have not written any example, but in short you should know the meaning. So here this constructor is specially given because if you see all these file objects whatever here I have created, it means that I am going to refer file which is available on my system. That means local files here I am using. But if I want to use any remote file which is available on net from any website, so for that I have to create URL object, so that means we can access any remote file by using file class. So for that also special type of constructor is available. So this example of this we will see in URL object lecture. So we will see in detail at that time. So these are for constructors for file class. Now file methods. There are too many methods available in file class, built-in methods. Some of these are, we will move method by method. So first, here these are the method names. This is the description about the method. So here prototype of the method is given. String space, again string S is written capital because in Java string is also it is a class. So string space get name. So as per the Java conventions, so always method name starts with a small case. If there are multiple words within function name or within identifier, you can say, so the new word always starts with a capital letter. So G is small, N is capital, and no blank space is allowed under identifier. You can see here in a function name. So it's a one word, get name, G is small, N is capital. So this convention you should know, because throughout Java 2 in this series, everywhere we require these conventions. So string get name. So this method is used to return the name of the file object. So whatever the file object you are having, by using that, if I am writing, suppose f1 is my file object, if I am writing f1.getName, whatever the file name associated with that name will get written as a response. So it returns name of the file object. So file name will be returned. String space get path. So this method is used to return the full name of the file including the directory name. So as we have just seen example, we have created f1, f2, f3. These file objects we have created. So whatever the file we have referred, it is stored under some directory. It is the file having some path. B colon there it was BCS, under that we were referring abc.txt. So if we want to know what is the path of our file is, we can use this method get path. So it returns the full name of the file including the directory name. String get absolute path. So right from the drive up to our file name, I want to display the complete path. So that path can be displayed by using get absolute path method. See everywhere here is also return type is string, because file name will be definitely string, so return type is string. Path will be string, so return type is string. Absolute path will be also string, so here is return type string. So this one get absolute path returns the complete path of the file object. Next method, string get canonical path. See, absolute path and canonical path results will be almost same. It will also return path of the file object, but separated in the path name are system dependent separator. Means what? We some systems use forward slash, some systems use backward slash. Or I move to previous slide. See here, I have given here forward slash. Some systems use backward slash. So depending upon the system, it will generate the canonical path, that is the complete path. So separator in the path may be forward slash or backslash, depends upon the system, whatever you are using. String get parent. Get parent means the name of directory where your file is present. Again, it is a directory name, so return type is string. So get parent method returns the name of the parent directory. So whatever the parent directory is there, that name will get displayed. Long last modified. So last modified means for whatever the file object you are having, whatever the file it is going to refer, so last time when it is modified, that time is displayed. So while displaying that timing, it is not displaying like this hours, minutes and seconds. It used to display that timing by using some Greenwich Mid Time, GMT. We call it in short GMT, Greenwich Mid Time. That is a standard time from 1st Jan 1972 at 12 a.m. Considering that timing as a standard time, how many up to the last modification, whatever the time has been passed, let us consider in second, that value here you are getting as a result. So a long number, long integer you are getting as a return. So return type is a long data type. So returns the modification time of the file. Long length. So definitely as we are creating we are using some file, as per the data stored within that file, the size of file will be there. If we want to know what is the size of my file is here, so that I can get by using length method. So returns, this method returns the length of the file, that is the size of the file, and definitely that is given in bytes always. All these methods, get name, get path, get absolute path, get canonical path, get parent, last modified, length, all these methods are instance method. Means what? If we want to call any of the method, we require object of a file class. So these are instance method. So if why I am saying how I identified that these are instance method, because there is no static keyword associated in header in this prototype. If there is a static keyword given in the function header, function prototype, then that will call as class method. So as here no static keyword available, all these methods are instance method. So to call this method we require name of object. Okay, fine. Some more methods. File test methods. So sometimes we need to test or to get some information where to test our files. Which are those tests? So definitely the word test is important. So if we are doing some test, definitely we will get two results, yes or no or true or false. So this type of result we will get as a return of the after the execution of the methods under this category. So everywhere all these methods having return type boolean. That means as a result you will get response either true or false. First method, boolean exist. So whatever the file name I am using for file object, it may happen that that file is not exist. So we have to check whether that file is really exist available on that system or not. So for that we can use exist method. Again, all these methods are instance method because no static keyword is used. All these methods are instance methods. So to call these methods, we require name of file object. In demo, we will see how to use this. So Boolean first exists, it returns true if the file exists and false otherwise. So let us consider I am using f1 as my file object, and under that f1, as we have seen, d:/bcl/apc.txt, that file is available. Suppose I am using f2, in that we have given. So if I am using f2.exist, so if abc.text really exists on my system, I will get return value as true, and if it is not, I will get return as false. So whenever return type is boolean, on either you will get true or false. No another answer will be possible. Next method, boolean can write. So two words. Again, W is in capital. Method start with small letters, so C small, W capital. So if we want to check whether whatever the file associated with my file object, whether the write permission is available with this file or not, so I can check. So we can call, if f2 is my file object, I want to check whether abc.txt, my file, having write permission or not. So I can call like f2.canWrite method. So it returns true if the file has write permission and false otherwise. So with that file, if file is writable, if the write permission is associated with that file, as a return I will get answer as true, otherwise it will be false. Similarly, I want to check whether that file, reading of that file is possible, whether the read permission is associated with that file or not. So for that I can call canRead method. So for example, f2.canRead, it returns true if the file has read permission and false otherwise. So if it is read permission is available with that file, it will give me true, otherwise it will be false. That means if there is no read permission, return will be false. So just as I said, same file class we can use to create or to refer directory as well as file. So what are the object I am using for file class? Whatever it is going to refer, sometimes it may require to check whatever the file object we are having, in that whatever it is going to refer, whether it is really file or not. So for that I can check is file. I is small, F is capital, two words, same convention is applied. So after calling this method, let us consider f2.isFile. If as I know that abc.text, I am having extension txt. Extension is always associated with a file, not with a directory. So as a response to this, I will get a return value as true, because abc.txt is really a file. So if it is a really file, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. It means if it is not file means it is directory, then it will false for isFile method. Opposite to that is directory. So what are the object holding? If that is a directory, as a return it will give answer as true, that means it's a directory. And if it is not directory, that means if it is a file, it will be false. So is directly result will be true if it is a directory, and if it is not a directory, result of this method will be false. Is absolute. So what are the path I am associated with the file? If that file path is absolute, it will return true. So it returns true if the path name associated with the file instance is an absolute path name, and false otherwise. So while creating the file object, if a complete absolute path is given over there, so that will be considered as absolute path is available with the instance, so it will give a return value as true, otherwise it will be false. So sometimes we keep some files as hidden, so we can also check that whether the file associated with our file object is hidden or not. Suppose I want to check abc.txt is hidden or not. So I can check like this, f2.isHidden method. So in isHidden, two words are present, I is small, h is capital. So I can call f2.isHidden. So if that file is hidden, I will get return value true. If it is not hidden, I will get value as false. So these are some tests which we can do on file object. So now file modification methods. So on files we can perform some modification. So here modifications means I am not saying that you are updating the information. That comes under writing the file. Modifications here I mean to say that either creating a new file under a directory, that means you are modifying the directory, you are changing name of your file or directory, or you are deleting the file, that means even though your directory one file, that means or directory structure will get update. So that means rename, delete and creating new file, this can be considered as modification methods. So here again return types are boolean. It means that so if you want so if we want to whatever the operation we are going to perform, after that we can check whether it is done successfully or not. In short, so we will say one by one. Boolean space rename to in bracket file name. So if we want it renames the file or directory represented by the file instance to the new names specified by name. So what again all these three methods are instance method. If I am using f2.rename to in bracket, I am using suppose some file name. So with this new file name, it will rename my abc.txt after that. So that means to rename to method is used to rename your file or your directory. Boolean space delete. So whatever the object you are using to call this delete method, so in that object, whatever the file is available, that file will get deleted after execution of this method. So deletes the file or directory associated with the file object. So if object holding file will be deleted, or if object holding directory will be deleted. So for example, f2 dot delete f1 is my directory because I had written there the path d:/b6. It was directory. So if I write f1 dot delete, it deletes the entire directory. So after deleting, return will be true because everything is deleted. If I write f2 dot delete, f2 was the file, it deletes that file. So after that I get the result as true because that is deleted. Boolean create new file. Creates a new file with the specified name if it does not exist. See, if I am using suppose f2, I have written that f2 object is created, f2 equals to new file in bracket we had written d:/bcs and file name we were giving abc.txt. Let us consider abc.txt, that file name is not available on my system. So with this new file name I want to create a new file. So what can I do? I can use that f2 dot create new file. That means if that file is not exist, it will create a new file with the name abc.txt suppose. So by using create new file, we can create a new file if that file is not exist under in our object whatever we are using. So these are the methods which are related to directory utilities. So file directory utilities methods. So what are the operations that can be possible with directory? These here related to that the methods are available. So first, boolean space mkdir. If it creates a directory by using the abstract path name associated with the file instance. So if we want to create a new directory, so whatever the path we have used while creating file object, with that, by using that path we can create a directory. So let us consider F1 object we are using for some directory path, and if I write and let us consider uh, the path as that path was d colon slash bcs, let us consider bcs directory is not exist. Now I want to create directory by using that path. So what can I do? F1.mkdir. So with that bcs name, the directory will be created, and as a return I will get true because directory is created. So if I want to create a directory structure like subdirectories and all, so for that I can use mkdirs. There is a little difference in mkdir and mkdirs. Let us see this difference. Create a directory by using the abstract path name associated with the file instance also creates any non-existent parent directories appearing in the given path. Let us consider I am using path in my object. Suppose f2 equals 2, and I am creating the f2 object by using path as d colon slash bcs slash ty slash abc.txt. Let us consider on D drive bcs directories exist, but ty directory is not exist, and under ty directory now I want to create abc.txt as my file. Means what I have to do? First I have to create ty directory, and in that I have to suppose in ty directory again some directories present. Let us consider the path is d colon slash bcs slash ty slash 6 same. These all are the directories. Let us consider. Up to BCS paths exist. On D colon, BCS directories exist. I want to create 6 same, but it should be under TY. So here I have to create 2 directories. First TY, under that 6 same. So I have to create directory structure, multiple directories. So for that I have to use here mkdirs method, because we are creating subdirectories now. So after that if I call f2.mkdirs, so as a result of this I will get under bcs directory it will create first ty directory, then inside of ty it will create 6m directory. So this directory structure it will create. So non-existence path is created associated with your object. So next is string. Here square brackets are given, that means it is string array, and list is the method. So if I want to display all the list of files along with subdirectories, that means all the contents of directory I want to display. So it is not a single name. Multiple names will I have to display. It may be suppose 10 files, 2 directories, whatever it is. So all the list of files and subdirectories associated with my file object, associated with my directory I want to display. So definitely result will be array of string or group of string. So the return type is group of string, that is array of string. So if I execute, if f1 is my in f1 object directory is available and I want to display all the contents of these directories, I can use like f1.list. So it returns an array that contains the names of files and directories contained in the directory represented by this file instance. So whatever the list of files and directories will be there, all will get displayed on screen. So just as I said, in directory there can be files or subdirectories also can be present. But out of that, I want to display only the list of files. I don't want to display any directory name. So I can use list files methods. L is small, F is capital as per convention. So if I write f1 dot list files, it will display all the file names available under the directory. No directory name will be displayed now. So as whatever going to be written, everything will be the file name. Here instead of calling a string, here the return type is given as, is considered as file array. So returns an array that contains the names of files only and not directories contained in the directory represented by this file instance. So these all are the methods. So these all are the methods which are available in file class. So let us see. So now we will see how to use these methods. So here is one program. Already I have written this. So one more important thing about the file class is that as I said that file class is a built-in class. This class is available under the package java.io. So if I want to use file class, I must import this package. So here import java.io dot asterisk sign and semicolon means under this IO package whatever the classes are available, all these classes are available to use now. So this package for file class is imported. So public class file info demo, under that I have written here main. So public static void main in bracket string array args. So very first line we have created object of a file class. So file is a class name, F is capital, object name is F1 equals to new file. Here I am giving directly the path along with the name of the file, complete string is given. So F colon notes slash advanced java slash java aptitude.txt. This file name I am giving for the object F1, that means F1 refers this file java aptitude.txt. So this is absolute path I am giving. Right from drive I am giving the complete path. This is absolute path I am giving. So here the parent directory is advanced java. So we will now use all the methods whatever we have just seen. Whatever the result is coming over here, I want to display the result. So all these methods I have called in system.out.println. So system.out.println, in double quotation I have written file name. I want to display file name. So after double quotation plus concatenation operator, that is plus f1.getName. By using file object f1, we are calling getName method. So it is used to display the name of a file. So what is name of our file? Java aptitude.txt. This file name it will display. Next again system.out.println file last modified. Here we will display what is last modification timing of our file is. So definitely a long integer value will come by using Greenwich Mean Time GMT. So we will see whatever the number is there. So I want to call that method. So here whatever the number of methods we had just seen, all methods are instance method. So everywhere I need to use this object f1 and the dot operator to call method. So f1 dot last modified. So it display last modified time of a file in milliseconds. Remember, the output, whatever the integer is coming, it is considered as milliseconds, which are passed since from 1st Jan 1972, 12 am. Then system.out.println file size. We want to display size of our file java aptitude.txt. So for that we are calling here f1.length. After that we are just specifying that these are in bytes. So bytes string is added, concatenation plus sign. So display size of file definitely in bytes. System.out.println path equal path colon f1 dot get path. I want to display path of the file, so it display path of a file, so that is from f colon slash node slash advanced java slash java aptitude dot txt. This path will get displayed. F1 now we will display absolute path. F1 dot get absolute path method we will call display absolute path of a file. Already the absolute path we have given, same path it will display again. Now we will display the parent directory of our file. So system.out.println parent equal to plus f1.getParent. GetParent method we will call. It display parent directory of a file. Then system.out.println. Now here we are using using the test methods of file. So for that, here I am using conditional operator instead of using if statement, then writing true side, else side. We are using here conditional operator for simplicity. In one line we are writing the code. So f1 dot exist. If this condition is true, that means if this java aptitude txt, this file if exists, I will get result as file exists. Otherwise, if it is false, file not exist message I will get. So checks existence of a file. On next line, f1 dot can read. In system.out.println we are writing again f1 dot can read. So if the read permission is associated with java aptitude.txt file, as a result I will get file is readable, and if the read permission is not given, I will get file is not readable as a result. So check file is readable or not. After that, system.out.println f1.can write. So just like read permission, we will check for write permission whether file will allow to write or not. So f1 dot can write method is called. If write permission is given, file is writable message I will get. Otherwise, I will get message as file is not writable. Next, system.out.println f1 is hidden. Here we will check file is hidden or not. So if file is hidden, as a result, this will be true, and result we will get as file is hidden. And if file is not hidden, we will get the result. Condition will be false. We will get file is not hidden as a message. So we know that our java.aptitude.txt extension is there. That means it is definitely a file, not a directory. But still, we want to use all these methods. Here we have written system.out.println f1.is directory. We will check is it directory or not. So we know that it is not directory, so definitely the condition will be false, and we will get the result as is not a directory. So if it is directory, we will get is a directory as a message. Then we will check whether it is really file or not. So for that, we know that it is file because extension is there. So we will write system.out.println f1.is exist is file. So as it is a file, a condition will be true, we will get is a file as a result. And if it is not a file, we will get the response as is not a file. So So check is it file or not. System.out.println f1 dot is absolute. So in this method, it will check whether the path associated with our file object is absolute path or not. So check is the path absolute. So if it is so, if it is absolute path, result will be file is absolute. Otherwise, file is not absolute as a result. So here we are not using any directory method. For that we will see a separate code. I will explain that at the time of demo. So only the file related methods here we are taking in this file info demo. So let us run this file. So we will debug. So we will get output. So for every line, as a response of every method we have called, we will get the response. We will verify one by one. So first SOP system.out.println was file name. So we are getting file name as java underscore aptitude.txt. We are getting the file name. Then the last modification, that timing. So last file, last modified. See here, huge number is coming. It's a long int. That's why the return type was long. So this is considered the milliseconds which are passed after 1st Jan 1972 12 am, considering as GMT. Then file size. So what are the file here? We are referring by F1 object. The size of that file is 98195 bytes. Path of that file, it is complete path we are getting f:/node/advanced adv java underscore aptitude.txt. So as a response for get absolute path method, here we are getting absolute path. That is same thing we are getting because actually we are using the absolute path. So again f:/node/adv java underscore aptitude.txt. As a response to get parent method, here we are getting parent is f:/nodes/adv java. So adv java was our parent directory. So up to that the path we are getting. So existence of a file is that is f1.exist we have executed. So file exists, we know that is exist. That's why the entire information we got. So file exists, we are getting the condition true, file exists. So as a response to is so can read, we are getting here file is readable. As a response to can write, we are getting here file is writable. So readable and writable permissions are available. File is not a hidden. So for a response of is hidden, we are getting file is not hidden. We know that it is not a directory. So is directory responses, it is not a directory. In response to is file method, we are getting is a file, and in response to is absolute, we are getting file is absolute because already the absolute path is given at the time of instance creation. So this is execution. So all the methods related to the file we have executed. So next part about the directory methods we will see in next lecture. Okay, thanks for watching.